Hi folks, I'm Kevin Bott. I'm with the Stella Adler Studio of Acting here in New York City. This video is part of the 2020 Graduation Challenge online toolkit, and today we're bringing you a lesson plan that can be taught by teachers or undertaken by students themselves, all part of our graduation rites of passage theme. And today's lesson plan is being brought to you by our friends at the New Victory Theater here in New York City, and it's being demonstrated by teaching artist Ugo Anyabwu. Have fun.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Ugo, and I am a teaching artist with the New Victory Theater. I am an artist who specializes mainly in acting, improvisation, and devised theater, which is basically creating theater from scratch. And we are in my wonderful apartment in Inwood, Manhattan, with my two cats, who are not here, and my wonderful fiance, who is behind the camera. Say hi, Monet.
Hi, Monet.
And today we are going to create an original theater piece using our bodies and our words. Alright, so for this activity, all you really need is a pen and a paper. So the first step is, I want you to think about your high school experience. Think about yourself as a freshman. What's one thing that you would like to tell yourself as a freshman? It could be anything. It could be one word, it could be a phrase, it could be a sentence. It doesn't have to be too long. My freshman year, I was picked on a lot as a freshman. But I also had a lot of good times as well. So I think I would tell my freshman year self, I would say, focus on the positives. Once you have your phrase or your word or your sentence, make sure that you write it down so you don't forget. Once you have it written down, we're now going to create a physical gesture that expresses what we've written down. For example, my phrase was focus on the positives. So a gesture that can go with that would be focus on the positives. Simple. Your gesture can be as literal as you'd like, or it can be as abstract as you like. This is your thing. Feel free to go crazy and have fun with creating it. But also, make sure that your gesture is something that you can repeat. So make sure it's not too strenuous on you. Cool. Once you have your phrase and your gesture, we're now going to move on to your sophomore year. What is one thing you'd like to tell yourself as a sophomore? My sophomore year, I had a huge fro. It was not pretty. So I would probably tell my sophomore year self, cut your hair. Simple as that. Once you have your phrase, make sure you write it down. And now it's time to create a gesture to go with that. So mine was cut your hair. I'm gonna do cut your hair. These are clippers. Imagine they're clippers. Cut your hair. Cool. Now we're gonna move on to your junior year. What's one thing that you would like to tell yourself as a junior? So my junior year, I was wild. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So I'm going to tell my junior year self, relax. Once you have your phrase, make sure you write it down so you don't forget it. We're now going to create a gesture. So my junior year gesture would be relax. I would say relax. Relax. Cool. Now we're going to do your senior year. Since you guys are already seniors, instead we're going to say, what's one thing that you would like to tell yourself as a senior in September? So school's about to start, you're in your senior year. What's one thing you want to tell yourself at that time in September? I would probably tell my senior year self, you got this. Once you have your phrase, now we're going to create a gesture. So the gesture that I would do would be, you got this. Cool. So the last step is going to be, what is one thing that you would like to tell your future self? We'll say future self, let's say 3 years from now. So if you're 18, what is one thing you want to tell your 21-year-old self? I am 7 years old, So I would tell my years old self, take it easy. Once you have your phrase, now it's time to create a gesture. So the gesture that I would do would be take it easy. Great. So we have your 5 gestures, and we have your 5 phrases that encapsulates your high school journey. So now that we have our phrases and our gestures, it's time to put them together. We're going to say our phrase with our gesture in sequence, starting from your freshman year, going all the way to your future self. You ready? Let's try it. All right, let's see. Focus on the positives. Cut your hair. Relax. You got this. Take it easy. Cool. One thing you can also do is add a transition gesture, something that helps you get from one sequence to the other. For example, you can do something like a spin move. So here we go. Focus on the positives. Cut your hair. Relax. You got this. Take it easy. Cool. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do these gestures again with the transition, but without saying the words. You guys ready? Let's try it. Cool. One thing you can also do with your gestures is modify them. How big do you want to make your gesture? How small do you want to make your gesture? Do you want to do it fast? Do you want to do it slow? It's totally up to you. Another thing you can do with your performance piece is make it more of a theatrical experience for you. What I mean by that is adding certain elements. Maybe you want to do your performance to the background of some music. What's a good song that helps matches the mood of all 5 gestures that you've created? You can even do it with costume pieces as well. So what makes theater so dope is the community that you create. An activity like this is so cool to do with other people. Sometimes you might even create the same gesture together. But unfortunately, due to the times that we're in, we can't really do that. But it doesn't mean that you still can't make this a fun and theatrical experience for you virtually. For example, focus on the positives. There's something on the screen. Something. You can see it. Yeah, it's right there. Great. Let's do it. We have just created a theatrical piece that represents your 4 years in high school. Hope you guys had a good time. Thanks for hanging out, and congratulations to the class of 2020. You guys are rock stars, and don't let them tell you any different. Take care.